Up next on FSU Weather, a high-pressure system is helping.
Elizabeth Temple out. Starting with our live look over Doak Campbell Stadium right now, absolutely gorgeous sunset as we head into this 6 o'clock hour. Beautiful pink colors in the sky tonight. It's 59, sunny with winds out of the north-northwest at 9 miles per hour. We are seeing much of the same as we look at the whole Big Bend. We have mid-60s closer to the coast, low to mid 50s as we head into southern Georgia, clear on the radar, and tonight we have a big pattern change as we head into next week, and what we'll see heading into the next week, and some crazy weather that has happened at past NFL games. All that and more tonight on FSU Weather. Oh, no. Thanks, please.
Of FSU weather. I know here today, it's finally warmed up a little bit today, but is that really the story of what we're looking forward to in the coming days?
Spoiler alert, unfortunately not. It does look like we had another cold front roll through this morning and our temperatures will drop this evening and into the rest of the weekend. But as I mentioned in the overview, we'll start to see some more normal Florida-like temperatures as we head into next week. Do you prefer the warm or the cold?
I prefer the cold, actually. I've really been enjoying these past couple frigid days, only because I have a heated blanket, which was the most accurate investment that I could have made during this time of the year. What about you?
Yeah, I definitely prefer it being cooler out. I don't really like the warm. It makes me very tired, and I just love the winter and that type of feeling.
It's nice to think that we have seasons here in Florida, right?
Yeah, of course.
All right, but now we're going to take a look over at the first local that we've got going on. So it's currently about sunset here in Tallahassee and in the southern regions, and doesn't it look absolutely beautiful across the Big Bend? We're seeing lots of beautiful colors, these pinks and purples and blues across our skies. Currently, our temperatures, we're sitting around the mid-50s and 60s, so again, that is a bit warmer than we've been experiencing for the past couple of days. But yeah, and then for our winds, we're seeing winds coming from the northwest, and they are quite strong over in Quincy and Bainbridge at 13 miles an hour, 9 miles an hour here in Tallahassee. But everywhere else, so they're sitting pretty lower at 0 miles per hour and 3 over in Perry. For our upper level water vapor, we see that it's very dry in the area and it's not shifting too much, keeping things very dry. I know, make sure to wear your chapstick and your lotion because this is definitely the dry season for us here down south. For our radar, we're not seeing a lot of precipitation, nothing actually, but heading into next week, that's when we're going to start to see that precipitation pick up. Across the weekend, again, we're seeing these clear skies with some very light cloud coverage working its way over into Sunday and throughout Sunday. But again, it's going to be just partly cloudy, and we're going to have those mostly sunny skies. For our Friday college town forecast, we're sitting in the 40s, heading into the 30s if you're out late into the night, but it's going to be pretty comfortable, not too windy, not too crazy or cold, but again, you might want to bundle up and wear some layers if you are a bit sensitive to the cold. If you're feeling like maybe getting out and going hiking, I know myself last week I went to Providence Canyon up in Georgia for the first time, would definitely recommend. But if you're thinking of staying local here in Tallahassee, but still getting outside, it's going to be a nice day to do that tomorrow with temperatures in the 30s and 40s. But again, you might want to leave a little in the later morning or into the afternoon to take advantage of the sunlight and warmer temperatures compared to those near freezing temps. Sunday, if you want to take your dog out for a walk, go for a nice Sunday morning stroll. The best time to do that, I would say probably around between 11 and noon, as that's when you're going to hit those 40s. So you're going to be comfortable with those cooler temperatures and hopefully not sweating too much. As for the week ahead, we're going to be seeing those warmer temperatures and storms start to develop in the later afternoon. But then we're going to have those cold temperatures this weekend. Our low dipping to 26 going into Sunday morning. But again, it's going to be pretty much a lovely week. But Josh, what are we looking at for the rest of Florida?
Okay, so as we look out right now, we are seeing some clouds across every single location. Although I will say Panama City and Fort Myers is looking gorgeous. Orlando is looking nice. Hopefully I-4 is just as nice, but I'm not betting on it. And then West Palm Beach, very cloudy overcast, but nonetheless feeling very nice and comfy with all these temperatures that we are feeling right now. Currently, we're going from 52 in Pensacola all the way down to 72 in Key West. That's a very drastic difference, and we're just feeling quite different temperatures across the entire state. So you can be feeling very cold or moderately warm. Regardless, it's a good time to go outside, as long as you bundle up properly. So currently, we're seeing drier conditions across the Panhandle, especially into the Western Panhandle, going into Alabama. And by the time we get to this border, which is about where you can see where the cold front is currently right now, and then when you go south, you'll have moist conditions compared to the northern counterparts. Now, as you see, we do have some moisture, but not a lot. But we do have significant amounts of moisture working its way into Miami, which is going to help to power some rain that we will be seeing as of right now. However, this rain is going to be very light, although we do have some stronger bands coming off the coast of Miami-Dade County and also off the coast of Key West. So if you're in the area, you shouldn't have to worry too much. Just make sure to bring an umbrella and take it slow as always. But it should clear out within the next few hours. And even then, it won't be super heavy. So, future satellite radar is going to just show that across the day Sunday, we won't have to worry about, we'll have some clouds coming in, and also clouds coming in from the Gulf, rain coming in from the Atlantic. However, that rain will be light, and then Saturday will be very light regardless. Again, now we go tomorrow, going into tonight, we're going to get down to freezing or just below freezing for the Panhandle. And then as we go through the rest of the day, it'll again warm back up. However, in Tallahassee, it's going to be only into the upper 40s, low 50s. Miami is going to be around the 70s for the high. However, then we go back down, and we'll get even colder than we are tonight for tomorrow night going to Sunday morning. 27 in Tallahassee, 26 in Pensacola, and then Sunday morning we'll again keep that same pattern going up, and same story in Tallahassee. We're only going to get to the upper 50s. So just make sure that this weekend, if you're going out tonight, just enjoy it. Although, however, West Palm Beach, home to our famous Ian Mutualer, is going to be very nice and very comfortable. However, Panama City is going to be very cold. So if you're going to, regardless of where you are, just make sure to bundle up if you're going to hit the beach. Now, Elizabeth, what's happening across the rest of the Southeast?
Well, the rest of the Southeast is starting to see some of the effects of that cold front that we just had passed through our area this morning that will start to impact us tonight into tomorrow. But it's looking very beautiful. Still seeing some showers and clouds in Monroe right now, but it's beautiful in Nashville, although it's 21 there, 36 in Charlotte, and 35 in Birmingham right now. So we see a lot of these areas already below freezing. 32 in Little Rock, like I said, is 21 in Nashville, 36 in Charlotte, 53 in New Orleans, 42 in Montgomery right now, but very clear skies for most of the area. And those winds, you'll notice that they're coming out of the north and the west. That is for right now, and that's because once we see a cold front come through, we'll see some of that. So we get that cold from the north, and that's why the winds are coming out of the north for most of the area. And it's fairly dry. We see a few clouds in the middle of the southeast as we see some snow move through, as we see our next system move through next week. But it is it's fairly dry on the radar right now. We see some snow in Tennessee and in North Carolina right now, and some snow off the coast of Chesapeake Bay right there, but not too much to worry about for the rest of the day goes. But we'll see that snow start to come back when we head into late Sunday, or excuse me, early Sunday morning into Sunday evening. We'll see some of that snow come through into Arkansas and to Louisiana as we head into Sunday evening. So make sure that you are looking out for that and driving safe. As you wake up in the morning tomorrow, very much we'll see some freezing temperatures for most of the area. It'll be just at freezing at New Orleans at 32. It'll be 10 in Nashville, 15 in Little Rock, 23 in Shreveport for tomorrow morning and into the afternoon. We're not going to see much of a warm up at all. We'll see a few places we'll be able to break the freezing cap. It'll be 38 in Montgomery, 32 in Atlanta, 43 in Charleston for tomorrow night, and it'll be even colder when you wake up on Sunday. 7 in Nashville, 18 in Charlotte, 24 in Charleston, and then we'll warm up a little bit more on Sunday afternoon when we head into some warmer days. So we'll see that front really make its way through as we head into Saturday night, into Sunday morning in Charlotte, and then when we head into Monroe, we'll see some rain as we head into early next week. But so far, much of the same for the most of the southeast. Now, it's cold basically everywhere, right, Priscilla?
Exactly. That is the big story we're experiencing currently. And so, yeah, across the nation, we've got a map right now of our feels-like temperatures, and we can see a lot of the nation is covered in those deep blues and even in those purple colors, dipping into the negatives in the northern part of the Central Plains. But here, Tallahassee, we're sitting at 56. We're seeing a lot of temperatures mostly below 50 degrees at this point in time, but things are going to be changing as we head into next week. So taking a look at our radar with our front systems. So we had that cold front push its way through earlier today, and it's going to leave that high pressure behind us that a lot of the nation is also going to experience. But we are having these stationary front in the Pacific Northwest, as well as the warm front and cold front converging on the west coast in California, and it's going to create that low pressure, which they're actually going to start to feel experiencing lots of heavy rains and potential for flooding impacts, which we will take a look at in just a moment. For our future satellite and radar, we're seeing a lot of the country blanketed in these cloudy skies, but again, not too much precipitation, mostly in the way of in the southwest and on the western coast. And of course, as I like to say, it's always raining in Seattle, so of course it is raining in Seattle. For our future rainfall forecast, again, we do have some precip in the northeast, but again, most of the precipitation that we're going to be experiencing is going to be coming in from the western coast with those higher impacts over in California and Northern California, north of San Francisco. So again, they're going to have that flood potential, especially when you've got a lot of drought. It makes it hard for the rain to seep in, so flooding is very dangerous, and it makes for higher chances, especially in drier times and drier areas like this. So if you're driving or heading out around, make sure to stay informed, aware, and if you see a flooded road, turn around, don't drown. And for our future temperatures, we're going to see it get even more frigid into tomorrow morning. But again, that is at basically sunrise time. We're seeing a lot of the white colors, even purples, into the northern plains, and a lot of the country is going to be actually under about 40 degrees. But as we head into Saturday, things are going to be looking pretty cool and slightly warming up. We're even seeing 70 in Phoenix, but as we head into Sunday morning, again, things are going to be pretty chilly, and looking at Sunday, 5 p.m., these are our warmest temperatures, sitting mostly under 50, but again, it's going to be warming up mostly into the beginning half of next week. So in New York, the story is 20s and 30s for our highs and warming up into Monday, but sunshine across the board, which I'm sure is a welcome story for any New Yorker who's really got that snow recently. Minneapolis, similar story, much lower lows, dipping into -5 tomorrow morning, but reaching its way up to 32 for Monday's forecast. Dallas, we're seeing 30s and up to 50s on Monday, but Salt Lake City, things are going to be a bit warmer, 40s and into 47, and again on our western coast, that's where we've got the warmest temperatures, sitting at 60s for our highs, and with lots of rain every single day. But Matthew, now we're going to take a look at our next segment. What are we going to be talking about right now?
Yeah, as we look at the weekend, as we come into it here, all the airports look pretty good outside of New York. Dallas is looking pretty nice, but other areas are pretty cloudy right now. And Charlotte is looking clear at 36 degrees. As we look at TLH right now, there's not a lot of delays. It's feeling 58 degrees right now. It's a pretty good day to travel if you decide to. And then as we continue to go in here, as we go into midnight tonight, it'll be in the low 40s with weather delays. Very unlikely as it's going to be very clear outside. And as we continue to go into tomorrow, it's going to be right around freezing. Delays not likely, but it will be cold. You're going to need that jacket and some pants. And as we continue to go into tomorrow's forecast for driving, it's going to be cold in the morning. You're going to want that jacket. You're going to want that sweatshirt, as it'll be around freezing when we wake up. And as we go into the rest of the day, it'll be 44 around 1. And as we continue to go into it, it'll warm up to around 47, 48. So you're still going to want those jacket and pants for any outdoor activities. And as we look at the rest of it, you got the falling iguanas down in South Beach right now. Down in Fort Myers, it'll sit just around, it'll get around that 43-degree temp, so they may become stunned, but do not go up to them because they still are going to be alive. And as we go into tomorrow, or Sunday actually, at 6 p.m., it's going to be 64 degrees, so they'll be fine. Don't go up to them. They're alive. They could attack you. And as we look at the Ravens versus the Texans in the AFC divisional round, you got 27 degrees for 4 p.m., 6 p.m., it'll be 25 and 24, so you're going to want that jacket. You're going to want maybe that blanket if you go to that game because it's going to be really cold. Snow is already there, so you're probably going to want those warm clothes. And if you go to the 49ers-Packers, it's going to be windy around 5 p.m. at 57 degrees. 7 and 9, it will be rainy, so you're going to want that jacket, that umbrella. That probably won't be a great game to go to, but I know here in Tallahassee I'll be watching that game. And if we look at the rest of it for church, it will be cold. You're going to want that flannel. You're going to want those pants, those jeans. Maybe you go get some coffee in the morning to warm up, but you're going to want those warmer clothes as it's going to be really cold to start the day out. And then the Lions and Bucks, it'll be 3 p.m., it'll be 23 degrees, and it'll cool off down to 18 degrees at 7 p.m. But if you're going to that game, remember, it is indoors, so it will not be as cold as the weather here says, but you're going to need those warmer clothes for when you get outside the stadium. And if you look at the Bills and Chiefs, I saw that they were shoveling snow today, and it will be below freezing at 6 p.m. at 25 degrees, and it'll drop down to 20. So you're definitely going to want those warmer clothes, those heavy jackets. So yes, you're going to need those warmer clothes. And as we go into the weekend, football tomorrow, it's going to be 48 degrees, 64 on Monday, so you're going to want all that warm stuff. And as we go through, I'm going to send it over here to Ryan. What do we have going on with the NFL right now?
Yeah, there's a lot, NFL playoffs are here, and we've seen already, a week into the playoffs, we've seen some crazy weather during games, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. We saw the Bills game a couple of days ago have, feet of snow where fans were shoveling it out, so a lot of fun going on.
I saw snowball fights on TV. It was crazy.
Oh, absolutely. A great time. So we're going to take a look back at some of the historical, craziest weather games in NFL history, starting with the Packers and the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, December 31st, 1967 at the legendary stadium, Lambeau Field. Coldest game in NFL history. It dipped into -13 degrees with a -48-degree wind chill. That is crazy.
That's crazy. I went to a game last year up in Chicago. I'm a Bears fan, and it was 8 degrees with a 20 below wind chill. I can't imagine. I was freezing. I can't imagine a 48 below wind chill. That's just nuts to me. That's not even like the Chiefs game a couple days ago. I believe the wind chill was about 20 below.
Oh yeah, and that was a crazy game to watch.
Mm-hmm. Now we're talking about the Bears. We've got the Fog Bowl, Bears versus Eagles. Bears won that game, and my dad, I believe, was at that game, where you couldn't see a foot in front of you because there was fog everywhere. If you don't know, Soldier Field is right off the lake, so we had fog there at Soldier Field. Foggiest game in NFL history, 15 to 20 yards was visibility. So I guess if you throw a ball 25 yards downfield, maybe the defense won't see it and you'll be able to get free. I don't know.
Your wide receiver might not see it though too. That's the problem with that.
Yeah. And then we've also got the Snow Bowl, which happened just, 6 years ago?
Oh yeah, you had the Bills who beat the Colts in OT, but it was in Buffalo, New York, the snowiest game in NFL history. 8 to 9 inches of snow fell during the game, 16 total. And it was the rare event that thunder snow occurred during that game, which honestly, I have not been up north with all this snow, but I've seen the videos of the Bills Mafia shoveling snow, and I just can't imagine what that's
With
like.
that thunder snow, I feel like Jim Cantore had to be there, right? He loves that thunder snow. He always seems to be a magnet for it. But with Highmark Stadium, the funny thing is, we had this game a couple days ago that had all that snow, and someone on Twitter put it perfect. Because they did, move the game back a couple days, someone on Twitter said, my toxic trait is I wanted to see a football game in this weather. Regardless of how dangerous it is to drive, all that. Yeah. And speaking of Highmark Stadium, we're still looking at Highmark Stadium with the windiest game in NFL history.
Oh, yeah. There were gusts of up to 50 to 55 miles per hour, which that would mean that the passing game is pretty much non-existent.
And the kicking game.
Oh, yeah. Your kicking game ain't going to work. It's 4 down, go, run the ball, run the ball. So Mac Jones threw for 2 for 19 yards.
Wow.
Geez, no passing at all. Not that the Patriots could pass, but just can't pass in that type of game.
Yeah, we've still got quite a while in NFL playoffs to go, so let's see what we've got. I'm glad the new Highmark Stadium is going to have empty, or a canopy rather, that still let snow games go on over in Buffalo. So hopefully more teams, as they start to build new stadiums, are building open canopy stadiums, even though I would like to see the Bears' new stadium with the roof. But anyway, let's shift gears and take a look at the climate here in Tallahassee, because we've had some interesting weather lately, especially as we're starting to get a little bit cooler towards the end of the month. But let's take a look at the last 31 days here in Tallahassee. We got a little bit warm towards Friday, the 23rd through the 26th, and got about average. A couple cooler days as we started to end off the month, and then back to average. The last couple of days, we're starting to warm up a bit in Tallahassee. Temperature-wise, today got up to 69 degrees, low 47, so just about average for this time of year. Our record territory was set last year, 84 degrees on this date, and then back in 1976, we did have a 15-degree start to the day. Let's take a look over the U.S. because we've seen a lot of cold in the U.S. lately, but that's about to change as we're starting to work more warm air into the forecast, especially on the East Coast, and as we get out towards the plains, more close to average weather for the next couple of days. Next week. Same with the minimum temperature, the low temperature when you start off the morning. Look at all that red and that orange. That means that we're going to be above average the next few days through next Thursday as you start your day. So all this cold weather we're starting to throw behind us. We've got the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. Almost the entire United States is staying here in this likely above, way above category, especially down the East Coast. And as we head towards the plains, starting to see some average temperatures rise. And then beyond that 8 to 14 days, we've got, especially out west, seeing some of the likely above temperatures. The good thing I will say about this map is we don't have any below average temperatures. The only spot that's not above average is going to be here in South Texas between Houston and the Rio Grande Valley. And you're still sitting at average for this time of year. And in Texas, average isn't quite that bad. So rainfall in January this month, so far, we haven't seen a lot of rain in Tallahassee, but we have seen a couple of severe weather days recently, so that's going to help. 4.78 inches of rain so far to date, month to date, 2.51 inches. So I guess we were above normal, 2.27 inches above normal from this time of year. Taking a look at our drought monitor, we did finally clear that drought out in Florida. We are still seeing that significant drought from Tennessee down into Louisiana, and then also in Iowa, seeing parts of the drought. We are going to get some more rain here on the East Coast over the next 6 to 10 days, according to the CPC. And then the 8 to 14 days, most of the plains sitting below average for the next couple of days. I do know, though, that a lot of the Midwest right now is seeing some rain and snowfall, so that is some good news. But now we're going to shift gears and take another look back here locally. Josh?
Thanks, Ryan. So right now we're hanging around the upper 50s in Tallahassee, and we get to the low 50s in Bainbridge, and also 62 at Apalachicola. But currently, we are seeing winds coming from the north and slightly from the northwest. Thomasville at 9 miles per hour from the northwest, Bainbridge at 10, Quincy at 12. But for the most part, it's not going to be too bad, although if you're going outside right now, do keep in mind the wind chill factor as we talked about in yesterday's show, and make sure that you factor that in when you get dressed if you're going out tonight. So right now, we do have some water vapor in the air, but it won't be enough to fuel any precipitation that could be in the area, so we won't really see any precip whatsoever. And we shouldn't have to worry about too much about ice, but do keep an eye out. As with ice, always just drive slow and respect it. Don't try to drive normally if there's ice on the roads. Take your time. Now, currently, we have nothing in the air right now, but as we look across to future radar, we are seeing that we will have some clouds in the southern part of our region going into Saturday, but Saturday night, it'll clear up until we get into Sunday, and then we'll start to see some clouds work its way in. So that'll definitely help to keep us to warm up tomorrow, but also it will help to keep in the heat tomorrow night. But anyhow, so Friday night, tonight we'll get down to 30 degrees. We will still have a wind of 8 miles per hour. So make sure that if you're going to be going out tonight, just bring a jacket and bring gloves if you get really cold, because I know I do. But Saturday, if you're going out the door, because I'm going out to support my people at Environmental Service Program, 8 a.m., 31 degrees, 10 at 36. We'll only get up to 48 tomorrow, so make sure that you bundle up if you're going outside and helping out with the Environmental Service Program tomorrow. Now, tomorrow night, if you're going to the game, do bring a jacket, because as I said, we will be getting even colder than tonight. And also, with the wind chill factor will make it feel even colder. And Saturday night going to Sunday morning, it's going to feel like 20 degrees outside. That's not going to be fun whatsoever. So make sure just to bring a jacket if you're going to the game, or if you're just going out to meet up with some friends, take that jacket with you. Sunday, no need to cry about this. This is done. But 8 a.m. we'll be at 27. We'll work our way up to 48 as our high on Sunday afternoon. And we're going to be, and overall, just be a good day to stay inside and enjoy some pizza. I know I'll be celebrating my brother's birthday. Happy birthday, well, happy early birthday. Now, Sunday morning, we're going to have that 8 a.m. wind chill at 20 degrees, but we're going to start to warm back up by the time we get to the weekend. However, you want to keep in mind we will have some storms coming through. So if you're going to the AMS conference, like a bunch of us, make sure that you take your time driving out. But anyhow, Elizabeth, let's close out the show.
All right, so we had a lot to talk about today. Of course, it's going to get cold again this weekend, but excited to see some warmer temperatures head into the forecast next week.
Yeah, I'm excited too. The one thing I will say I'm concerned about is making sure it's the rain, because I know sometimes, especially around this time last year, we also had like some strong rainstorms come through. So I am concerned about that, but I am excited to finally be out of the 20s and the sub-freezing temperatures.
Of course, and yes, of course, it is important to know that we are in the El Nino pattern, so we will be seeing a wetter winter, which is why we've been seeing a lot of rain and storms in the forecast. But with that, we also get our warmer temperatures back into the 70s, so it'll be nice not having to put on several pairs of pants in the morning because it's 20 degrees when I wake up to get parking at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yep. Yeah, that's me with going to bed though. Like I put on like layer after layer after layer, so I can relate to that, and I'm excited to be back into the low 50s as our lows.
Yes, of course. And thanks for watching us tonight. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/FSU Weather.
Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU Weather.
And if you're watching us live right now, thank you. But you should be watching us live every night on YouTube at 6 o'clock at FSU Weather. And also
follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather.
So we'll take one last look at the whole nation as we head into the rest of the weekend. So these temperatures are important to look out for as we head into the weekend, because it will be very cold for most of the area. I'm trying to get my graphic back over here. Here it is. So by Saturday morning, we'll be below freezing and below zero for much of the country. And as we head into Saturday morning, most of the country will be below freezing as well. We'll even see a high of 69 in Miami, 70 in Phoenix, and Sunday is going to be even chillier as we head into the morning hours there. -2 in Chicago, 6 in Minneapolis, and 11 in Bismarck there, and another chilly day on Sunday, so just make sure that you have your jackets out and beware of ice on the roads, because if those roads are wet, it will get very slippery. So here is that 7-day forecast again. It will be it'll be chilly this weekend, but get ready for 70s back into the middle of next week. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.